the news center in high definition. This is News Channel 8 on your side today.
And welcome to News Channel 8 today. I'm Gail Guayardo.
I'm Rod Carter. Thanks very much for joining us at 6 o'clock. And we're following breaking news this morning after two people were shot at two different locations. Coming up in just a moment, a live report with the very latest developments. But first, let's get started this morning with Storm Team 8 meteorologist Lee Spann in the Forecast Center because it's cold.
Yeah, that's also making headlines this morning.
It certainly is. In fact, right now, a freeze warning for Citrus, Hernando, and Pasco counties continues until 10 o'clock this morning. And we are seeing some isolated spots at or below freezing. There's also a frost advisory for Highlands County this morning. So how cold is it? Well, 34 degrees right now in Weeki Wachee. We're at 41 right now in Plant City, 37 in Lakeland, 45 in Tampa, 46 in Bradenton. By midday, despite the sun, still cool. 55 degrees at midday, afternoon highs in the mid-60s. So this evening, temperatures fall quickly, 57 down to 45 overnight. I'll tell you how cold it's expected when you wake up tomorrow morning. Coming up. Now let's check on the roadways, though. How are they looking, Leslie?
We've still got the activity in Pinellas, and now a new issue over in Oldsmar and Sonona-Sassa. This is at Lake St. George, just south of Tampa Road. We haven't gotten word of a collision here. Let's move over to the Sonona-Sassa area. US 301 right at Fowler Avenue. We're going to keep an eye on this one. This can definitely get busy throughout this area. Collision there. And, of course, the ongoing issue in St. Petersburg. It looks good on 275, but as we zoom in here, I want to quickly remind you that 28th Street ramp to the northbound section of 275 is blocked due to police activity, and Melissa Beckman's going to be updating us throughout the morning, and that's due to a shooting that's going on there and activity with the police. 22nd Avenue South is your alternate instead of the 28th Street ramp to northbound 275. That's a look at the roadways. Now let's check in with Gail.
All right, let's get right to that breaking news out of Pinellas County. St. Petersburg police are investigating a shooting. It happened at the intersection of 31st Street and 18th Avenue South. As Leslie just pointed out, that's just east of I-275 in St. Petersburg. News Channel 8's Melissa Beckman joins us live from the scene with the very latest. What's going on, Melissa?
Well, Gail, we're now learning a lot more information about an actual series of shootings that St. Pete police say happened throughout the city, throughout South St. Petersburg this morning. And we're now told 4 people were shot, one of which has life-threatening injuries. It all started here at this intersection just around 2 a.m. Police responded to a call of a hit and run. When they got here, they found a car with drugs inside and bullet holes in the windows, but no blood and no people. As they were here investigating, officers were flagged down about an hour later by a limousine. Inside, 2 men were shot. They were rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We're told 10 other people were inside that limo, and police say they did find a gun. Now that takes us to a second scene on 28th Street near the interstate near 275. The people in the limo told police that the driver of a Chrysler 300 opened fire on them. Police found that driver in the car with a life-threatening gunshot wound, and he was also rushed to the hospital. Now, a 4th shooting victim, we're told, showed up at All Children's Hospital on his own, and St. Pete police say they aren't sure how or if he's related to the series of shootings that happened here this morning. But they do tell us they have a lot to sort out. But again, the bottom line, St. Pete police are actively this morning working 2 separate crime scenes. We're told at least 4 people were shot, one of which has life-threatening injuries. Gail?
And you say, Melissa, out of those 4, one of them just walked into All Children's, and they're not quite sure if it's related to the other shootings.
That's right. They said as they were here investigating, this is after that limousine flagged down the officers who were working that hit and run. This man showed up at the hospital, and they say that he does have non-life-threatening injuries. And again, they're not sure how or if he's connected to everything else.
All right, Melissa, we'll check out you throughout the morning show. Thank you so much. And, of course, look for details throughout the morning on our homepage, WFLA.com.
2 families are out of their homes this morning because of a possible sinkhole that opened up in Seffner. One homeowner describes what the floor sounded like.
The floor was like moaning and groaning and making noise, and they're like, it's time to get out because it wasn't normal.
Jessica Alfaro called 911 after she saw tiles on the floor of her rental home breaking and buckling. Emergency crews came out and made everyone get out of the duplex, which is on Peach Avenue. Alfaro fears a sinkhole may have formed underneath the house.
I felt like I was going to get sucked in a sinkhole. me, my family, my my niece that's 1 month old, my sister, the dog. Everything was just like going through my head really fast.
The American Red Cross is helping Alfaro and the rest of her family members. Now, if this is confirmed as a sinkhole, it's just one of several that have opened up in Seffner. Just 2 miles away, a massive hole opened up in a bedroom of a home, killing Jeff Bush. That was nearly 4 weeks ago.
Happening today, honoring a fallen soldier. Flags will be flown at half-staff in honor of a local Army hero. Governor Rick Scott ordered the honor for Specialist Zachary Lee Shannon. He died earlier this year in a helicopter accident in Afghanistan. The flags will be at half-staff in Pinellas County and at the Capitol in Tallahassee. A special ceremony at MacDill Air Force Base today will honor some soldiers for their heroic actions. U.S. Special Operations Command will host a ceremony inducting 2 Medal of Honor recipients into the Hall of Honor. Army Sergeant First Class Leroy Petrie will be inducted while serving in Afghanistan in 2008. He grabbed an enemy grenade and threw it as it exploded, losing his hand. This is file video of Petrie receiving the Medal of Honor in 2011. The second soldier receiving the honor is Staff Sergeant Robert Miller. Miller died while serving in Afghanistan in 2008. The military says he sacrificed his life to save the lives of his fellow soldiers, as well as 15 Afghanistan National Army soldiers.
Now, some of the stories that are making headlines around America this morning. The U.S. Marine Corps has released photos of the 2 Marines shot and killed by a colleague last Thursday in Quantico, Virginia. Lance Corporal Sarah Castromata of Oakley, California, was 19 years old. Corporal Jacob Woolley from Guntown, Mississippi, was 23. Both died at the hands of Sergeant Eusebio Lopez, who also killed himself. Investigators say Lopez and the 2 victims worked at a school that tests Marines who want to become officers. This morning, the Secret Service has its first female director. President Barack Obama selected veteran agent Julia Pearson to run the agency. She is a 30-year veteran of the agency and most recently served as its chief of staff.
More questions inside the Supreme Court today and more demonstrations outside as the court looks at whether the federal government can deny benefits to gay couples in states where their marriage is legal. It's the first time the court's dealt with such an issue, and as NBC's Tracy Potts reports, it's likely to spark more intense debates.
With more demonstrations expected today, the court takes a look at whether the Defense of Marriage Act denying federal benefits to gay couples is constitutional.
Their marriage is not equal to our marriage because they cannot create children.
The court's liberal justices questioned that Tuesday.
If both the woman and the man are over the age of 55, there are not a lot of children coming out of that marriage.
One of the most passionate pleas came from the defendant's son.
And we look forward to the day when we will be treated equally.
This is not a Democratic issue or a Republican issue or conservative or liberal. This is an issue of American constitutional rights.
But the justices argued California's Proposition 8 banning gay marriage is about children.
Whether that is harmful to the child or not. The voice of those children is important in this case.
Justice Kennedy, the court's swing vote, warned they may be delving into uncharted waters. Justice Alito agreed.
You want us to step in and render a decision based on an assessment of the effects of this institution, which is newer than cell phones or the internet?
But backers of Prop 8 insist the voters have spoken.
The place for the decision to be made regarding redefining marriage is with the people, not with the courts.
Even in the 9 states where same-sex marriage is legal, federal benefits are denied. That's what will be argued inside and outside the court today.
So by midday today, the court will have heard arguments in both cases on both sides, but we're not expecting rulings in either case until June. At the U.S. Supreme Court, I'm Tracy Potts, News Channel 8 today.
With the debate raging on whether banning gay marriage is unconstitutional, polls show growing support among Americans for gay marriage. And there is more proof on YouTube as the song Same Love by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis is going viral. The program director at Wild 94.1 made the controversial decision to start airing the song on the radio, which uses what many call lyrical genius to share the story of those who support gay rights.
It's 6:09. First responders are normally the ones rescuing people in trouble.
But a firefighter up north is recovering after an out-of-control vehicle crashed into a truck and slammed into the fireman. More of this shocking video coming up at 6:15. Then.
I'm good. I can do this all day.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, vacationers from cold, snowy states aren't fazed by our chilly beach weather, but they had other hazardous conditions to deal with as well. And in our next half hour, General David Petraeus apologized overnight for a scandal that ended in his career.
It's another cold morning out there. We've already checked in with Dora in Inverness. Our weather watcher there says it's 38 degrees. But if you are in town ready to actually go to the beach, look at this warming trend from 64 degrees today to 69 tomorrow to 73 Friday. And yes, that is 77 on Saturday. I'll let you know about rain chances, though, coming up. It's 6:10 and you're watching News Channel 8 Today.